Isaacson at the buzzer. And Utah Tech has the lead 30-29.
Hello and happy Friday. Welcome into this week's WAC podcast. I'm your host, Kendra Sheehan, and our special guest of the week is the 2025-26 Stan Bates Award winner in Emily Isaacson Chamberlain. Now, this award goes to one male and one female student athlete who have demonstrated excellence in academic achievement, athletic accomplishment, exceptional character, and community engagement. A $10,000 postgraduate scholarship is given to its winners. Now, Chamberlain was a 3-year starter for Utah Tech women's basketball, and she exited as the program's career leader in three-point field goal percentage and three-pointers made. Outside of basketball, Chamberlain was involved in many things. She was a member of Utah Tech's Student Athlete Advisory Committee, serving as the department's president from 2022 to 2024. And as a Utah Tech representative with the WAC group in 24-25, she was the scholarship recipient for the NCAA Career in Sports Forum, where she got to visit the NCAA headquarters and take part in numerous interactive workshops, seminars that focus on enhancing leadership and skills. Chamberlain, of course, is a native of Perry, Utah, graduating summa cum laude, a 3.98 GPA, and a degree in recreation and sport management.
And Emily Isaacson knocking down the first three for the Trailblazers.
Hello, Emily, and welcome into the WAC podcast. You were just announced as the 2025-2026 Stan Bates Award winner, which goes to the top male and female in numerous categories, including academic achievement, athletic accomplishment, community engagement. When you heard that you were the winner of this award, what were your initial thoughts as you were also granted a $10,000 postgraduate scholarship?
Oh man, I mean, my first thought was I was totally shocked. I was so excited. I was so grateful too. I mean, I was just grateful to be even considered for the award and then let alone to be selected for it. I was shocked and very grateful. The $10,000 scholarship was definitely, I mean, it's a lot of money. And so it's like, wow, okay, that's crazy. And so I was just really grateful to be even considered for the award.
Now, we'll get into what you're up to now and a look back at your career at Utah Tech, but you've graduated. You're no longer a student athlete. I see you're still wearing Utah Tech Trailblazers outfits. But now with a little bit more downtime during the summer, what have you been up to? Enjoying life, traveling, getting to see some things that maybe you wouldn't have if you were already getting into some summer workouts?
Yeah, so it's been a good summer. I've been traveling with my family a little bit. We went to New Mexico, Hawaii, Bear Lake. I'm married, so my in-laws, I got to travel with them. So it's been fun to have a summer with my husband and kind of relax that way. But also, I just accepted a job to work for JD Gustin and work for the women's basketball team as an assistant coach. So I'm just right back into it, just without the training part. So that's been good.
Yeah, that feeds into my next question. I saw that you had a Utah Tech women's basketball coach now in your bio, and I know there were question marks on would you be able to come back after last year based on did you have any more eligibility with the NCAA? And Coach Gustin was like, we'd love to have her back if possible. And now you are back, but in that coach capacity. So how did those conversations start with Coach Gustin that it came to fruition that you're back, but you're just on a coaching platform now?
Yeah, so so I've been playing for 6 years now. Which is more than most, and I did have eligibility. I could have played a seventh if I wanted. I would have had to do a lot of paperwork for it and get through all the hoops for that. But honestly, my body was done. I have been through 2 ACL injuries, and they've taken a toll on me, and both mentally and physically. College sports, I mean, you're around it enough, I'm sure you know it's not easy. Being a student athlete, and I just was done. I mean, I finished my master's degree, so I didn't really have any schooling to do, at least here, because I wouldn't have transferred. I would have stayed. So I just told him I was like, hey, I'm done. I don't looking for a seventh year. Like 6 was an ass, And he honestly, it's been my dream or my goal ever since I was a freshman. During my first ACL injury, I got to, be on the sidelines a lot, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. I learned a lot, and I realized I was like, hey, can make money doing this being a coach. Like I can coach, and I want to stay within college athletics. I think it's a great environment. I want to work with student athletes like myself, and I want to help inspire them, motivate them, get them better, not only in basketball but in life. And so I just has kind of been telling him that my whole 6 years I've been here. I was like, hey, I want to be a coach. I want to be a coach. And so he was like, well, I guess if you're not gonna play, then we have a spot open, and I want you on my staff. And here I am. So I'm so grateful to him for giving me the opportunity. First of all, I worked for it too. I've done a lot of internships and obviously have both my degrees in sports management. And so I feel like it's kind of both ways. Is he's giving me the opportunity. Also, I feel like I'm kind of ready for it too. So it's been a lot this summer. I've been recruiting out on the road. So it's been kind of weird to shift my mindset from playing and being a student athlete to now being on the other side of it and like doing evaluations and seeing how I can get girls better rather than not being their teammate but being their coach. And so it's definitely been a mindset shift, but I mean this is my dream job, right? This is what I wanted, and so I'm kind of testing out my dream to see if I how I like it. And so far I'm loving it. So it's been fun.
Yeah, I imagine it must be tough because a lot of the players you played with last year as a player are still on the roster, and now you're in that coaching role. What's been the most challenging part of shifting that mentality and then also being the person that's supposed to hold accountable the teammates that, you guys shared the floor together last year?
Yeah, no, that's definitely a lot of almost everyone's question when I tell them that I've just gone right into coaching, and it's definitely a journey. It's unique. It's a unique situation, obviously. But last year I was, the senior captain, so I already kind of had that leadership responsibility before even as a player. And obviously I'm friends with all the girls. We went to college together, like we're friends, and so it's now shifting is I can still be friends with them, but in obviously a more professional way. And that's something I'm gonna continue to work on, and obviously they're great with it too. I mean, they're all pretty excited that I've come back, and I'm grateful for that. Like they're awesome, and so the way that they welcomed me back has been really great. I wouldn't be able to do it, I don't think, if they weren't that way. And so it's been fun. Definitely a little challenging though, is like obviously I more have to be more professional now. Just in everything I do. I don't want to get in anyone's way or anything like that. And so, um, yeah, it's definitely gonna be a journey, like, transitioning into school and stuff, because it's gonna be weird not having to go back to school, but also I'm so glad I don't have to either. So, yeah, just kind of going as or seeing through as we go. Obviously, if I make a mistake or something, and we'll figure it out from there. But
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, can you still do the movie nights or the ice cream hangouts with the team and it just feels maybe a little bit different, but I mean, they're still your best friends.
Yeah, yeah, so that's something we're gonna have to figure out as we go, but yeah, as of right now, it's just a more of a professional relationship, obviously. So
Well, we've talked numerously about your time at Utah Tech and what St. George has meant to you. But you mentioned, I mean, 6 years, and you look at the college landscape, athletes aren't staying at one institution for their entire career. And you've shown so much loyalty to the institution. I mean, you literally got engaged on the basketball court at Utah Tech. So, how do you even sum up an incredible career that now gives you the opportunity, as you said, to have your dream job?
yeah, I mean, it's a that's definitely a loaded question. I see the value in staying loyal and sticking with university. Obviously you mentioned about the transfer portal and how popular whatever it is to transfer and to go to different schools, and personally I don't really like it. I don't think it's good for student athletes. Obviously, if you're in a bad situation, you need to get out of it. I 100% agree. But if you're just transferring just to transfer or to get more money, I, I don't know. I just can't agree with that. And so I definitely see being loyal as something that's helped me obviously get this job too and make connections here. I don't know how long I'll be here for. Uh, but as of right now, this next year, I'm all in. So yeah, definitely the 6 years career. It was long, it was hard, but it was also so rewarding and so good. Obviously, I got both my bachelor's and my master's degree, so that was a silver lining. Those injuries, those days where it was tough. I learned a lot about myself. I, got mentally stronger, physically stronger. Um, if I wasn't here for that fifth and sixth year, I wouldn't have met my husband. So that's definitely a plus. Is I got to meet him and get married and have all my teammates and coaches and stuff support me through that, and that was incredible. So they all came to my wedding and they all wore matching like dresses and stuff, so it was really cute. But yeah, it's just been, I don't know if I can put all 6 years into maybe a single word, but just so grateful. And if other student athletes out there are, I hope I can be an example to them or be someone that they can look towards of my story and my journey, through injuries and through staying loyal and all the ups and downs. Obviously, I got recruited as a Division II athlete. We were Dixie State at the time, and so my freshman year, and then we all of a sudden we were Division I, and so it's like I went through that too, and then we changed our name too. So it's been a definitely like really cool to be a part of this university as it's growing. We're just in our growing phase right now. A lot of struggles there, obviously, going from Division II to Division I and changing the name and being in the WAC and everything like that. So it's been fun to be a part of. I kind of joked, I think I joked in our preseason, what's it called, interviews in the WAC, and I said like definition of a trailblazer is going through all that, and so I think I've kind of shown that, or at least tried to prove it.
100%. I mean, and it's so cool to watch your journey and how you started freshman year. You mentioned the Division II, and then you grow, you become an adult, you get married. I mean, what an incredible journey it's been. And I mean,
For
you'll
sure.
leave Utah Tech with your name etched into the record books there. You're the program's career leader in made threes. And I'm assuming what goes into that kind of an accolade is just hours and hours of shooting in the gym. But I mean, how did you develop into that sharpshooter?
Yeah, shooting threes what is like my total thing. It's not hard to tell. Just look at my stats. That's my thing. But it's also how we play too. We love to shoot here. Obviously layups are the best, but we'll take a three as well. So, but yeah, hours in the gym, just shooting. My dad taught me how to shoot. As a high school player, I wasn't honestly the greatest 3-point shooter as a freshman and sophomore, and then I kind of grew into it. And yeah, just spending hours in the gym with my dad, and then when I got here with my coaches with the shooting gun, they've really developed me. And so it's partly because of, the work I've put in, it's partly how we play. And then it makes it easy when your coaches believe in you and give you the green light to shoot.
And I mean, even just to get on the floor, you mentioned it, two ACL tears over the course of your career. What advice, now that you're in a position to have that coaching platform, what advice would you give to any player that comes to you with some sort of adversity situation like that, whether it's an ACL tear, whether it's some sort of injury? How were you able to push through that, not just once, but then you had to do it again?
Yeah, I mean, it was rough. Like I'm not gonna lie, like there was times I wanted to quit, times I wanted to give up, and the advice I would give someone is don't give up and don't quit. Like it may get worse or it may get better, but as you're never gonna stay the same, right? It's either gonna get worse or gonna get better. And so you're obviously you wanted to get better, but the situation you're in, if you're injured or having a tough time, just stick with it and just stick with it and be positive, optimistic, and something good's gonna come from it. I believe in silver linings. I believe in, coincidences and things like that. And I don't think that my injuries were, I think that it was meant to be somehow. I believe in like a higher plan, a greater power. And so I know that that was like my plan, and it sucked. It was rough, but sticking with it, I couldn't be more grateful with how it's turned out for me.
And also looking at the other part of the Stan Bates Award is the community service. And so outside of basketball, you were an active member of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. You were the department's president. You actually got to go to the NCAA headquarters and have leadership seminars and learn from some of those people in charge of the NCAA. How did those experiences help you become the leader and the coach that you wanted to be? What were some of the highlights of that journey for you?
Yeah, the community service is huge for me. I love the aspect of being a student athlete, and you are a leader or an example, an inspiration for, kids who want to be like you or things like that. And so I think giving back and being visible in the community is huge. Here, not only here, but everywhere. So St. George is a great place to be able to do that. We have so many community events that you can be a part of, and they love, the student athletes here, and they love seeing us out and about and helping. And so it's pretty big for me. It will continue being big for me as a coach. I want all the girls to get that experience as well. And it's also, there is a value to it. It's a good resume builder for the student athletes, saying that they've been a part of things that, maybe they wouldn't have been a part of. It's really good. And so I've been blessed to have coaches who've put that as a number one or as a top. I don't know if I would have, even been considered for this award if it wasn't for them pushing me to, do these events and do these things and be a part of everything. And the SAC thing also, like, it was so fun. I love being part of SAC and representing the school for the WAC. It was good. I think it's important to have a voice and to be outspoken and to, help make changes and things like that. And so I was grateful to be able to do that for our school, but I think it's definitely important. I would recommend any student athlete to be on SAC and to not only be on it, but to be what's the word? Be really engaged in it and really try with it. So
Yeah, no better time than now, especially with all the changes and the house settlement. It's so important to have a voice. Now, before we let you go, so did you just come from practice? Were you at the gym just shooting, or where are you currently?
so we had just got done with practice, and I was doing some like paperwork and stuff in my new office. So yeah, I'm still wearing my Trailblazer gear every day. Can't ever get
What's it
enough.
like to have an office?
It's weird. It's weird, but it's good. It's fun because it's like I can put my basketball shoes under my desk, so
And you still get to wear, your sweatsuits to work because you're a coach. That's
yep,
just what you get to do, and it's awesome.
exactly. Yep.
Well, you can catch
First time
Utah
ever.
Tech women's basketball. They'll get underway Monday, November 3rd, and you can catch Emily Isaacson Chamberlain not playing, but on the sidelines. And we cannot wait to see what the Trailblazers accomplish this year, especially with you and the coaching staff. Best of luck to you, and it's always great catching up.
Thanks, Kendra. Appreciate it.